I'd like to present the text My Name Is by Eminem from 1999, and also an interview with the Rolling Stones from 2002. And this text is really about the alter ego that everyone has, and it's about the difference this alter ego brings out in one. For example, it already starts in the start of the song by saying, "Can I get the attention of the class? For 1 second, my name is. Hi kids, do you like your violence? Wanna stick me stick 9 inch nails through each one of my eyelids." Because Slim Shady is a bad fella and he doesn't care about saying that to kids. He had a rough year when he was getting a divorce. He possibly had a jail sentence over his head. And he said that he used his songs to express his feelings and come out with and really be better. Um, for example, he says, "My life is a really a fucking like a fucking show. I have songs on the album that I wrote when I was in that shit last year." And that really is apparent in this text too. We see that the real Slim Shady is a bad fella, and 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 he tries to be better than that by leaving all of that in the text and possibly being better towards his family and everyone he knows. Now I want to cover how Eminem uses the language in his text, and he really tries to make this text humorful. He really tries to make it funny, and that I think brought what brought Eminem so much success in his first part of his career. He was so efficient in making his text funny. Um, just by the Spice Girls are really popular at that time, and just a line, "My brain's dead weight. I'm trying to get my head straight, but I can't figure out which Spice Girl I want to impregnate." Really funny, and he gets this humor into his text so easily. Um, Also, another example of that is really drawing parallels between use words that have other meanings. For example, um, I smoke a fat pound of grass and fall off my ass faster than a fat bitch who sat down too fast. Come here, slut. Shady, wait a minute, that's my girl, dog. And that's of course like him trying to play on the words that are slut, and a girl dog is of course a bitch. So come here, slut, come here, bitch. Um, I don't give a fuck. God sent me to piss the world off, and that's really what Slim Shady is, and it's tried to get like a ripple effect in the rap community and have like some jabs at the funny things that is so extreme in this text. Um, Another example is "Stop the tape. This kid needs to be locked. Get away. Get him. Dr. Dre, don't just stand there. Operate." It's just it's funny because he knows how bad Slim Shady is. He knows that he needs to be stopped, he needs to be locked away, and that's really funny. And all the examples he goes through with the "I just drank a fifth of vodka, damn me to drive," everything in this tech concerning language really just tries to be funny. Put a bulletproof vest on and shoot myself in the head, bang. Funny. Why put a bulletproof vest on? We're just gonna shoot yourself in the head. It's funny. Of course, humor is subjective, but I consider this funny, and I think a lot of people who like Eminem's stuff thinks he is really funny. Um, Everything he really does concerning rap in his first part of his career was really funny. Some of the gangster rap features in this text is really going hard on the language. He's also mentioning some examples that could be derived from a gangster rap community. Um, a gangster rap community is of course like street life, a hard life, really trying to make a way in this rap community because that's like a ticket out. It's a ticket out to freedom, to wealth, to money, to hoes and bitches, like they say. Um, that's why he also uses some of the words like "come here, slut." He talks about drugs, and he talks about drinking alcohol, and he talks about going to jail. Like I mentioned before, he wants to be locked up because, frankly, a lot of gangster rap community members were locked up. Um, he talks about the fear of death. "I'm not ready to leave. It's too scary to die. Fuck that." I think you see Tupac, you see Biggie, who got killed. It's a really good reason to be afraid of this because a lot of those gangster rappers they died because it was so dangerous. they are in that community where success is so hard to get. And then he got it, and and then you really it's dangerous because people are out for you. And Eminem made it like the white sheep in a black herd with black sheep, and he really made that threshold, and he started being like this new guy who or white in a black community, and he was good at rapping too. So he made it, and he also says in the text that um, um, in his album he speaks openly about being more successful because he's white, and he thinks it's obvious that I sold the double records because he's white. He has a talent and he's not stupid, but it's also his color and his skin that defines his success because it's a combination. Earlier, I talked about the themes and messages in the in the song. I mean, and it is really about this alter ego that is so much worse than yourself, and we all have it in us. We all have this Slim Shady. We all have this alter ego who's really out for us. You see that, for example, in superhero movies. The Reverse Flash coming in and debunking everything and coming in and being a bad guy. He's the reverse of it. That's really what this is. It's the reverse one. We all have this in us that tries to be toxic and ruin everything for us. That's the themes and messages he really tries to bring in, and his success that he's so like in he's so bad, but he's not him. That's important. Now I want to draw some parallels to some texts we have had in our classwork. And it's all from 8 Mile. And we can see in this interview, he says, I don't play me in the movie. There's similarities because I sat down with Scott Silver and wrote the script. But he is not Rabbit. And he is not Slim Shady. He is Eminem. And that's the middle way. And you can see there's some similarities between the text because one of the guys is so afraid. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his wet already, mom spaghetti. And the other guy is so bad. Hey kids, you like violence? Want to see me stick 9 inch nails through each one of my eyelids? One possesses no anxiety and fear for going on stage and being provocative. The other one shows so much that he pukes his mom's spaghetti on a sweater. And Eminem, I think, is probably a mix of these two. I think his themes and message really with this is to bring out the best of yourself. A combination of all your personalities, really, because we all have different personalities. You have the one that's super confident. You have the one that's super fearful of what could happen and have anxiety attacks about everything. You need to come through the middle. You need to be the best of you. And that's a combination of the good and the bad. About the guardian angels on his shoulder. And I think it's what he really tries to do. And you can see that in most of the text because they're so different, but still they're the same person because in every one of them, it's Eminem that that wrote them, and you can really see that. I think that is what makes Eminem such a good rapper and such a good writer. And that's it. Thank you.